Hey, what's up guys? John here. The auto market is about to explode, and insiders at CarMax and a lot of really large distributors are dumping millions and millions and millions of dollars in stock. Very similar to like what we've seen with SVB, Signature Valley Bank, with insiders dumping shares just before the collapse. Now, many people might say, well, John, is the auto market really going to fall? You have to look at what this market was the last couple of years. Record low interest rates, unlimited money printing, unemployment benefits, PP loans, stimulus. People had tons of money and they didn't care. And a lot of lenders, they had money to lend. They were doing 0% down. They were financing 125% loan to value. You basically just went there and signed on the dotted line and people got a car. Now the tide's turning. And what's happening behind the scenes, I'm going to list what's actually happening. I'm going to list the names of the people and show you what they're actually selling in this video, because it's unbelievable. It really is. And you'll be able to see a clear picture of what the future of the auto market is going to look like. And if you have a need maybe to buy a used car or a new car, you want to go out there and pick up a vehicle, but you're looking at these prices today wondering, should I do it? I think you're going to find a lot of opportunity, because I think there's the repossessions that we're already currently seeing, which is 20,000 a day, 600,000 US repossessions every single month. Has only just begun. This party's just gotten started. I'm going to break it down for you in this video. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's really going on in the U.S. economy. And if you want to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. If you have a need to buy that nice car, maybe a family car or work truck, having good credit is going to allow you to get a better interest rate, and in many cases, maybe even get the financing at all. Bad credit equals more risk, and lenders right now are pulling back on riskier borrowers. So we'd love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. Take a look at this. Used car market forecast as prices suffer the biggest fall in years. We're already starting to see it, right? Dealerships are stepping into problems. 45,000 customers, this dealership closed down, bankruptcy. 45,000 customers. This Ford dealership closed after 50 years. 50 years in business. I mean, you look at the dealership business since the 1990s, right? Give or take the last 30 years. I mean, this has been just a rocket ship. Especially the last 5 years have just been crazy for them. They were basically printing money at these dealerships. But now that's all turning off. That's all changing. Lenders, they were lending 125% loan to value on these cars. Absolutely nuts. But look at what it actually takes to buy a car today. So you'll see this party, it's over. It's absolutely over. And then I'm going to name who's actually selling these shares and what these companies are actually doing. But this is for context. Non-prime, so credit score between 601 and 660, 13% interest rate, 13% interest rate. 661 to 780, 8.75%. So on average, maybe 10%. Just as an easy number, 10% interest rate. While car price is about $46,000. Now that's not getting you an Escalade. It's not getting you, some really, really nice vehicle. It's probably getting you a Honda Pilot, something reliable. But you're definitely, it's not going to be anything that people are turning their heads to look at. It's just a basic everyday car, 46 grand. Well, that car, $46,000 price, 60-month loan term, 5 years. Interest rate 10%, $2,000 down, $934 a month. $934 a month, right? Let's say you fill the tank once a week, or once a week, 4 times a month, $50 a pop. That's another $200, right? Add in another $200 for insurance plus repairs. You're looking at $1,500 a month to drive a basic car. That's what it costs today in America. Now, when you're looking at $1,500 a month, how many people have $1,500 a month laying around where they're going to be able to get financing? Not that many, right? Not that many today. The cost of living is skyrocketing. The job market is kind of softening up. The economy is looking a little bit more delicate. We're going to see a lot less buyers and a hell of a lot more sellers as these car repossessions continue to pick up and people default on these payments as interest rates rise. Now, look at what's going on with CarMax. CarMax has actually, looked relatively stable, but look at what the insiders are doing here. So John Daniels, right? John Daniels, he's a senior vice president of CarMax, right? John Daniels, he sold 15,730 shares of company stock in the transaction last week, right? July 11th. 15,000 shares, right? For a total of $1.33 million, right? Another CarMax exec, Darren Newberry. He sold, let's see right here. This is the same exact day, $812,000 worth of stock, same day. Another executive, Jim Linsky, right? He sold shares for right here. Most recent transaction was a sale order, 67,345 units for $5.68 million the day after his two buddies or his two acquaintances or colleagues sold. 5.68 million liquidated, right? This other insider, this is published today. Shares sold in AutoNation. He dumped stock at $179, $179 a share, netted about $21 million selling these shares, right? A billionaire that was actually involved with AutoNation. So he was director of AutoNation. Net worth $2.2 billion. So you have to ask yourself, and at least I'm asking myself, when we look at this market the last couple years, 2020 to 2023, it was unsustainable, the amount of cars sold. Like, it was absolutely crazy how many cars are sold. But when we have a situation, a dynamic that people are going through right now with cars, it's going to be a situation, I believe, where inflation is going to continue to get rampant and people are going to prioritize their needs above who's actually getting paid. So they're going to have a list. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to feed myself first. That's going to be first. Then I'm going to pay my car payment. Then maybe my landlord after the car payment. Because without the car, I can't get to work, and without getting to work, I can't pay my landlord. So I'm going to have to do food. I'm going to have to probably have a cell phone bill in there. Then it's going to be car payment. Insurance will be after the landlord. And they're going to prioritize spending. That's what I think is going to happen. But when you look at who all of these holders, for the most part, of this debt obligation chain is, it's mainly banks, right? Banks, lenders. And so as banks start to suffer more and more and more losses, as people have different types of incomes and different types of debt expenses, they're going to continue tightening up. That's what I think is going to happen. I think this $1.6 trillion auto market bubble is so big that I think a lot of people can't comprehend it. It's basically the size of student loans. Like, the student loans are just about 1.7 trillion. So it's almost the size of the entire student loan bubble. That's how big this situation is. And every time Jerome Powell continues to increase interest rates, it costs more expensive to, it's more expensive to have that car. So when I look at these insiders that have probably been in the business for many, many decades, that see, information and data points, and they understand the consumer better than you and I, and they're liquidating right now, I think they're doing it for a reason. I think this entire economy is completely false. I think that this economy, for the most part, is not based on sound reason. It's simply economic engineering to the capacity in which I think a lot of people don't understand, except for some of these billionaires that are looking at these numbers behind the scenes. What do you think about this situation? You think this guy, Eddie Lampert, $2.2 billion net worth, $2 billion net worth, right? And you have James Linsky, right, selling 5.68 million shares a day after Darren Newberry sold shares, right, for he cleared $812,000 selling shares. Then you have another guy, John Daniels, same exact day. Like, what are the odds? The same exact day, $1.33 million worth of shares sold. I don't know. I look at these numbers. I see almost $1,000 a month for a basic car. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening for the everyday American. Think about it. The everyday American makes 40 grand a year. They make 40 grand a year. They make $3,800 a month, right? If it costs $1,500 a month just to have a basic car, that's 50% of income, and that doesn't take into consideration food, car insurance, rent. Doesn't take into consideration student loans, credit card bills. It doesn't take into consideration utilities. Nothing. That's 50%. 50% of the average American's gross income. It's absolutely nuts. There's no way that this is going to hold up. I think we're going to see defaults across America to the capacity in which we can't comprehend. I think we're going to see lots packed with cars. That's what I think. So if you want to get a nice car, I mean, you're talking, maybe an Escalade or G-Wagon or one of these cars that seems extremely, extremely nice. They were selling those cars like they were Honda Civics the last few years. I don't think there's going to be a lot of support to buy these cars in the coming year, 2 years, 3 years, as things likely get a lot more delicate in this economy and things get a lot more unstable. I don't think there's going to be a lot of support there. So I think values for some of these vehicles could soften in a very, very big way. So having good credit, having cash in the bank, I think you're going to be able to pick up some incredible deals on cars, both new and used, in the coming couple of years, as a lot of these manufacturers also try to move cars as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of opportunity to pick up vehicles But I think we're witnessing the entire auto market get completely restructured as well. What do you think about this situation? Drop below, hit the like button, add me on IG, and if you want to fix your credit to position yourself for what I believe is going to be the greatest wealth transfer of all time, we'd love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. You can go there, schedule a free strategy session, and catch you guys in the next video.